These are the 5 worst plane incidents ever recorded. Number 5. This is American Airlines Flight 191 in 1979. 273 people died in this incident.
Airlines Flight 191 with 269 other people. It was set to depart at 3:04, loaded with enough jet fuel to get from Chicago to Los Angeles.
The O'Hare Airport Control Tower gave routine clearance to an American jetliner, Flight 191.
As the aircraft reached takeoff speed, the primary engine peeled off, damaging both the wing and hydraulic systems.
Moments later, as seen from the Channel 9 helicopter, the plane smashed into a field just north of the airport runway.
It was something bad.
The plane had taken off but quickly dipped and rolled to the left. It was in the air for just 31 seconds.
31.
This haunting image caught the plane essentially sideways, with one wing pointed toward the ground and the other pointed toward the heavens, just before it plunged into a field off of Touhy Avenue and exploded in flames.
This huge cloud of smoke.
That it was a catastrophic event.
All 271 people on the plane and 2 others on the ground had been killed.
But the
Turkish Airlines Flight 981, a McDonnell Douglas DC-10, was a tragic aviation incident that occurred on March 3, 1974. The flight was en route from Istanbul to London when disaster struck. Shortly after takeoff, a catastrophic failure of the cargo door caused it to detach, resulting in the loss of cabin pressure and severe damage to the aircraft. The sudden decompression led to the collapse of the cabin floor, which in turn severed critical control cables. This made it impossible for the pilots to maintain control of the aircraft. Despite their efforts, the DC-10 crashed into a forest in Ermenonville, France, killing all 346 people on board. The accident raised significant concerns about the safety of the DC-10's cargo door design, ultimately leading to a series of modifications in aircraft manufacturing practices. Number 3. The Charkhi Dadri mid-air collision occurred on November 12, 1996. When a Saudi Arabian Airlines Boeing 747 aircraft collided with a Kazakhstan Airlines Ilyushin IL-76 plane near the village of Charkhi Dadri in Haryana, India. Tragically, all 349 people on both flights lost their lives in this devastating accident. It remains one of the deadliest mid-air collisions in aviation history, serving as a reminder of the importance of rigorous safety measures in the skies. Number 2. On August 12, 1985, Japan Airlines Flight 123, a Boeing 747-100 SR, tragically crashed in the mountains of Gunma Prefecture, Japan. This ill-fated flight has gone down in history as one of the deadliest single-aircraft accidents ever, claiming the lives of 520 passengers and crew members. The flight had departed from Haneda Airport in Tokyo, en route to Osaka International Airport, with 509 passengers and 15 crew members on board. Everything seemed normal until approximately 12 minutes into the flight when a loud explosion occurred, causing severe damage to the aircraft's vertical stabilizer, which controls the plane's stability. Despite the severe damage, the highly skilled captain, Masami Takahama, managed to keep the plane airborne and contacted air traffic control, desperately seeking a safe landing. Tragically, due to the plane's limited control capabilities, it soon entered into an uncontrollable descent. For the next 32 minutes, the pilots fought tirelessly to regain control of the stricken airplane while struggling to cope with a rapid loss of altitude. The valiant efforts of the crew members provided a glimmer of hope that they could avert disaster. However, against all odds, Japan Airlines Flight 123 crashed into Mount Osutaka at an altitude of approximately 6,500 feet. The impact resulted in the disintegration of the aircraft, scattering debris across the mountainside. The cause of this devastating crash was ultimately determined to be a faulty repair made by Boeing after a tail strike incident 7 years earlier. The repair had left the rear pressure bulkhead inadequately reinforced, leading to a gradual weakening of the structure over time. As a result, the bulkhead ruptured during the flight, causing the explosive decompression and the subsequent loss of control. The crash of Japan Airlines Flight 123 stands as a grim reminder of the importance of comprehensive aircraft maintenance and thorough inspections. The event led to significant changes in the airline industry, emphasizing the need for stricter safety regulations and more stringent aircraft inspections, ultimately contributing to the improvement of aviation safety globally. On March 27, 1977, one of the deadliest aviation accidents in history occurred at Los Rodeos Airport in Tenerife, a Spanish island in the Canary Islands. This tragic event, known as the Tenerife disaster, claimed the lives of 583 passengers and crew members. Two Boeing 747 aircraft were involved in the incident, one operated by Pan American World Airways and the other by KLM Royal Dutch Airlines. Due to a bomb explosion at Gran Canaria Airport, numerous flights, including both Pan AM and KLM flights, were diverted to Los Rodeos Airport. As the air traffic controllers worked tirelessly to manage the influx of diverted flights, the airport quickly became congested. KLM Flight 4805 requested permission to taxi down the runway to take off. Meanwhile, Pan Am Flight 1736 was instructed to taxi along the same runway towards an intersecting taxiway. Unfortunately, due to a combination of miscommunication and poor visibility caused by dense fog, the KLM aircraft commenced its takeoff roll while the Pan Am plane was still on the runway. The KLM aircraft, speeding down the runway, did not have enough time or distance to abort the takeoff. With mere seconds remaining, the KLM plane lifted off, just as the Pan Am aircraft tried to clear the runway. The two jumbo jets collided at high speed, resulting in a catastrophic explosion and fireball. The impact of the collision utterly destroyed both aircraft and claimed the lives of all 248 passengers and crew members on board the KLM plane, as well as 335 passengers and crew members on the Pan Am plane. The collision remains the deadliest aviation disaster in history. Following the Tenerife disaster, significant changes were implemented to enhance aviation safety. These changes included improvements in communication protocols, particularly with regard to standard phraseology and the use of English as the international language of aviation. Additionally, airports worldwide adopted better ground radar systems and developed procedures to prevent runway incursions. The Tenerife disaster served as a turning point in aviation history, highlighting the crucial need for effective communication, advanced technological systems, and stringent safety protocols to ensure the safety of passengers and crew in complex and congested airport environments. This is the worst plane disaster. The 9/11 attacks occurred on September 11, 2001, in the United States. It was a series of coordinated terrorist attacks by the extremist group Al-Qaeda. Hijackers seized four commercial airplanes, crashing two into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, causing their collapse. Another plane hit the Pentagon in Virginia, while the fourth crashed in Pennsylvania after passengers fought back against the hijackers. These tragic events resulted in the loss of nearly 3,000 lives, prompting significant changes in global security measures.